it's important that they learn about the world they're living in, not just to do science, but if they become people in positions of responsibility, by and large, much of that responsibility revolves around the application of technical issues to society. It doesn't matter what it is. We have cars in the streets, we have transport, we have oil consumption, we have global warming. By and large, it's technology and how it interacts with society. And my feeling is, I don't know whether it's correct, that we need wise decision making, and it seems to me that you're more likely to get wisdom if you understand the technology than if you're ignorant of it. It may be just as bad, but it seems to me, by and large, if you don't understand the system, you're not going to make very wise decisions. And I think that's fairly obvious because many people who are not scientists, they seem to have great disdain for science, even though staring them in the face is the technology around them. And that is odd, because all they see is the dangers of science and technology, or really should I say, the dangers of applications of science and technology. I think there's a difference. Science is just knowledge. That's all it is. It's the knowledge of how things work. It's how society decides to apply that knowledge. And I don't consider that to be science. They're not scientists. They're applications engineers or something. And it's for scientists to study the way in which this is applied to find out what the benefits, and if there are dangers, find out what they are. And so it seems to me that no one should leave school without a good scientific background. Now, I happen to... My great love is art and graphics. I think even I would have been better at it. I'm more at home doing graphics than I am in science, because I'm a good scientist, but you don't have to be a brilliant scientist to win the Nobel Prize. I know that from my own experience. I'm a good scientist, but I know many people who are absolutely stunningly brilliant who will not win the Nobel Prize for various reasons. So I'm a good scientist, I'm fairly smart, and I was lucky. Okay? And I am not by any means the best scientist. Although people think the Nobel Prize is an indicator of great science, it's not. It's an indicator of, in general, a good scientist who has been fortunate to have chosen the right problem, to have gone down the right street. Okay? We know lots of people who are brilliant who never got the opportunity to excel. Okay? So, and that's there are many good actors who never get the opportunity to make a film or whatever. Always the wrong choice. Best example is the Oscars. We know a good director won it for lots of reasons. Martin Scorsese, I would say, probably should have won 3 or 4. But there's some peculiar. So luck is involved in this. And our life today is so precariously balanced that society cannot continue this way. So somehow, as I'm good at this, I feel that, and I quite enjoy doing workshops with small children. I give lectures for older children too, at schools and also at university, and for old scientists too. And I work very hard to make them enjoyable.
And so what advice would you give to a young person who would like to pursue scientific studies?
Well, I would say continue it, find that place, that area that you're really excited, and go after it as hard as you can. But don't neglect also other aspects of life, like going out with girls or boys and art, and if you like it, playing music. But try and be creative rather than passive. And in science is creative in a very special way. And if you don't think that just because you're not the best person, the smartest guy around, that you can't excel. Because at school, I was good, and I wasn't by any means the best. I was in the top group, and there were people who were extremely bright. And at university, I was in the top group, but not the... And wherever I went, I met scientists who were just incredible. But it's not to do with that. It's something to do with... achievement is not dependent on how smart they are. It partly that, because if you're unfortunate and you're not... we know that some people are not that smart. That's unfortunate, and that's the way it is. I mean, some people are born with defects, mental defects and stuff like that. So there's a whole gradation. But if you find you enjoy that subject, what my view is, if you really are passionate... I don't like the word passionate, that implies something without rationality. If it really fascinates you and you really like it very much... I worry about the word passionate. I mean, people say I'm passionate about something. I say no, not really. It's something that fascinates me. I pursue it, and if I decide to, I do it to the best of my ability, which is limited. I know, as spaghetti western, I know man's got to know his limitations, and I know what my limitations are. But I work to those limits, which happen. I can push them further through determination to do something as well as I possibly can. And so when I give a presentation, I'm always working on it to make it better. I think about everything I do to do it as well as I possibly can. And I know that some people can do it better. I know they will. But they don't, because they don't have my level of determination. So what I do have is that. I don't have... some people are single-minded, and that, I think, is a danger too. I'm determined to as well, but that doesn't mean, that I don't enjoy other things as well. So I just stop and I do something else. If you are just too focused, then you don't actually pull in things from other areas. And very important, I think, not just in science, but in everything, that you are multifaceted. You look and enjoy, as I do, art. Not all art. I like 1% of artists and 1% of what they do. Music. I don't like all music. I like the Rolling Stones and Pink Floyd, and I like Mahler. But I don't like all music. Some I don't know. I feel there are some things that I should do more of, read, but I don't have the time to read as much as I like. But I have a huge collection of books, mainly picture books, because I like fumetti, bande dessinée. Why do I like that? Because I think some of the best artists are working in this medium. By that I mean the vast majority of fumetti can't draw, but a small number, they can draw, and some of them are the best artists of the present time. So, in the old days, Raphael and Michelangelo were just unbelievable, but there are some like that. And so, and then I like photography books and art books, every artist, A to Z. And I like music as well. So I used to play guitar, not very well. And I played tennis. I played tennis 4 or 5 times a week until about 20 years ago. So one time I was thinking I was going to spend all the time, but I kept losing, so it wasn't a good idea to continue. Well, I could have worked better, but I realised my limitations at tennis too. But I don't like competition either. I think competition bothers me. I like playing sport to enjoy it, but it becomes very competitive, and I think young children should not be encouraged. If they want to play sport and play, that's fine, but I think we should be very careful, because it's now very different with drugs and stuff like this. There's a lot of money, so these children not only want to be celebrities, but make a lot of money, and that bothers me, because there are very important problems to solve, and our young people are going to have to solve them, and nobody else is going to do it.